Hello. If anybody is watching, let me know. Wow, here we are again. We're back. Another summit. So this one starts in just under 2 weeks. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm excited because it's a really international summit. So I've got speakers from around the world, and that includes India, Poland, Estonia, America, Australia, the UK, Slovenia, and South Africa. So it's really, really exciting to be able to bring this to you, and it's going to be covering a whole gamut of things as in topics. So reactivity is always a big one. So I think there's 6 speakers on reactivity. There are lots of raw food speakers, diet, health, fitness. I'm actually going to go through all the speakers now. I understand people probably aren't watching this live. If you are, please say hello in the chat. I'd love to see if anybody comments. But I'm going to actually go through all the speakers and what they're going to be talking about. So if you are watching on the replay, let me know as well. There goes my dog. So some of the speakers, because they are from all over the world. I do have a little bit of trouble pronouncing some of their names. Bertha, can you please? I don't even know what she's barking at. Okay, so I'm just going to go down through the list alphabetically. And the first one is from Poland. And I'm going to open it up. And her name is Agnieszka Janerek. And she, as I said, she's from Tromsø. She is an academic in the applied behavior analysis. And she is really into science and putting it into practice in the real world. So she says her goals are to eliminate myths and common sense from the animal training world and instead provide people with reliable education based on scientific, ethical principles. And we had a really, really interesting conversation. Stop ignoring, start reinforcing, and how non-contingent reinforcement can tackle problem behaviors in dogs. Yes, it sounds like a little bit of a mouthful, but I really encourage everybody, especially the dog trainers in this group, because I know there's a lot of dog trainers have registered for this. I really encourage you to watch this one. It's really interesting. But she's basically mooting the question, why ignoring unwanted behaviors, why ignoring should not be the go-to solution for handling problem behaviors, which is quite interesting. So setting the stage for the learner, and why non-contingent reinforcement as the easiest tool to break problematic contingencies. So it's very, very geeky and sciencey for people that are into that. But yeah, really interesting conversation. So if you are a dog trainer, make sure you check this one out. Okay, so the next person on the list alphabetically is Angela Ahern. She is from South Africa, from Cape Town. And she is the founder of Biokinetic Canine. So we had a great conversation because she actually competes in the same sport as I do, which is IGP. So we've talked about canine fitness, keeping dogs, so they keep their resilience. So they're resilient from injury and they keep their competitive edge. And the topic of her talk is building a strong canine athlete that is more resilient to injury. So if you do any type of dog sport, but also if you're just a normal pet dog guardian, you'll find this quite helpful just to make sure that your dog stays safe from injury and leads its best life. So that's Angela. Okay, who's next? Bree Blakeman. This is a good one for people. She's in America. So she's from Noble Wolf Dog Training. She's a certified professional canine behavior consultant. And we had a really interesting, she's got loads of certifications, which we all see in the interviews. Anybody watching, say hello. I can see there's some people watching. So yeah, please say hello. But her talk is about, and we all, get a puppy and we usually take them to dog training classes, group situations, and it's all about setting dogs up for success in that environment because it can be really, really tricky for dogs to cope with a group setting. So It's a good one to watch if you're a dog trainer, but also if you're a dog guardian, how to make sure that your dog isn't overstimulated in that group environment, and so that they actually learn and they're set up for success. If anybody's got any questions, let me know as well, whether you are watching on the replay or watching live. The next one on the list, Caroline Ingraham. So she is in the UK, and we had a really, okay, I'm going to get this, I'm going to try and pronounce this. So she is the founder of Applied Zoopharmacognosy. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at pronouncing things. Zoopharmacognosy. And we talked about how helping the dog heal itself with self-medication. And that is really interesting, because anybody that owns a dog will often see them going out into, you know, when you take them out for a walk and they're munching on grass or some sort of particular plant in the environment. And the conversation is all around how they can self-medicate. You know, how do they select plants that are actually going to help them? Yeah, and it's actually really, really interesting. So, and also how to communicate. I found this conversation really interesting, and how we can communicate with our dogs using aromatics. So scent, you know, because some scents are calming for dogs and others are, you know, can have different effects. So how do we do that? All right. The next one is from Dante. Dante is from Brazil. I forgot, yes, Dante is from Dante Dog Works in Brazil. And he is talking about reactivity, but taking a holistic approach to reactivity. So looking at the bigger picture. And Dante is quite interesting. He's an international presenter and a dog sports enthusiast, having represented Brazil and Canada in agility. He's also titled dogs in rally and dog diving, and he's taught dog dancing. Yes, which is cute. I think it's cute, you know, dancing with your dog. Yeah, so that's Dante. Reactivity. Okay, then next we have Dr. Holly Gantz. So Dr. Holly is she's the Chief Science Officer at Animal Biome. So we talk about the dog's microbiome in the gut. Why is it important? Well, what it is, why it is important, how it affects health. So that's a really good one for anybody that has questions around dog health. Definitely watch that one. And her freebie gift is a State of the Gut report. So we talk about examining poo. Which is really good to do, actually. Erin Marion is the next one. She is from Down to Earth Dog Lady. She is in America, so is Dr. Holly. Great conversation. We talked about deaf and blind dogs, how to train them using positive reinforcement. You know, how do you use tactile communication? How do you communicate with a deaf dog, with a blind dog? And how not to use vibration collars, which is really, really interesting. Oh, I've got some questions. Hang on. I'll just move some things around on my screen. Hi, Victoria. Thank you for commenting. And Victoria says you're watching on YouTube. Love your live streams. I always learn lots. Good. Thank you, Victoria. I'm just talking about the speakers for the summit. So I'm just going through the list of speakers and what they're all going to be talking about. The next one is Jana. Jana is in Slovenia. Yeah, Jana Gums, her name is, and she is from Dogs for Motion. And we talk about the ways to improve your dog's physical well-being. So early recognition of pain and exercises to improve fitness. And Jana actually gives us a little bit of a demonstration in the video with her dog, showing us how we can do some really, really easy exercises. So you want to watch that one if you've got a dog. Especially for me, it was helpful because one of my dogs is getting a little bit older now, and she gave me some really, really easy tips on how to help the dog. Yeah, so you want to watch that one. Okay. Then we have Jill. Jill is in America. Jill Hassefort. I hope I pronounced that right. She's a certified dog trainer from Jack and Jill Professional Dog Training. When the summit goes live when you register, you will see all their links and everything under the interviews, so you'll have access to contact them directly if you need to. Jill is going to be talking about stranger danger. So good conversation. Lots of dogs have a fear of people they don't know. So we talk about what it is, what stranger danger is, what causes it, and, ask some questions around, she answers some questions around stranger danger, as in, is the dog being protective? Do they need more socialization? How do we support them as well? So that was a really good chat. Okay, next. Okay, Jose Gomes, who is from Portugal, but sorry, I'm going to say it right because I actually said it the wrong way. So it's actually, because he's from Portugal, they say it different to the way the Spanish would say Jose. I would have thought it was Jose, but it's actually Jose, and his surname is Gormish. So apologies for getting that wrong. But yeah, it's Jose Gormish. He is in Australia, but he's actually Portuguese. He's been all over the place. He's with Train Me Please. That's the name of his business. But he grew up in Portugal, and then he moved to Cape Town in South Africa. And now he's based in Melbourne, Australia, where he does behavioural consultants and puppy classes. And he also runs a really, really popular YouTube channel called Train Me Please. But this is a good one. This topic came up after the last summit. I asked in the Facebook group, what are some of the topics that you would like discussed? And this one was suggested. So fun exercises and games for dogs who have to be mostly on leash. So what can we do to help those dogs using, they can't be off leash for whatever reason. So how can we still brighten up their lives and give them plenty of enrichment? So he gives some good examples of games, which I think you guys will like, because lots of dogs can't be off leash for whatever reason, unfortunately. Alrighty, and Kay Stewart is the next one. So raw feeding, she is a registered veterinary technician and certified professional canine nutritionist from Real Dog Box in America, and we talk about, very good conversation, how raw feeding impacts behavior. Go through the gut microbiome a little bit as well, and the gut-brain axis. So everybody's heard about the gut-brain connection. So everything starts in that gut, doesn't it? So yeah, that can really influence how a dog behaves. And it's we have to, like, for me at least, I think it's really important when we're looking at our dogs and their behavior, we need to take a holistic approach. Sure, you can train the dog if you like, coach the dog, educate the dog, but taking that holistic approach, what's going on in its life, what's it getting fed, etc., is really, really important. Okay. Next is Kelly. Kelly is a friend of mine. She is from Pup Scouts of Hunterdon in America, and she's a certified professional dog trainer. And in this conversation, I love the title of her talk, actually. It's Guardians of the Good Stuff, 4 Easy Steps to Falling Resource Guarding. So if you have a dog that is a resource guarder, you will definitely want to listen to this one. Okay. And then Mari. Mari is in Estonia, and she is from the Moving Canine. So her name is It's not Marie, it's Mari Valgma. Mari Valgma from Estonia, and she is a certified professional canine fitness trainer. And she actually, Angela will be doing a live in this group with me during the summit. So will Mari. And we talk about how fitness training can help your dog's behavior, which is probably not what people think. They don't think that apart from obviously exercise, maybe helping the dog be calmer, she actually looks at it from a different perspective. So how certain exercises can, e.g., boost your dog's confidence. So if you've got an anxious dog, you will want to listen to this, because we talk about how it's okay, sure, fitness can help your dog be healthy, and it's good for sports dogs, and resilient, helping them be resilient to injury, etc., etc. But she's saying it can also help with behavioral challenges. So really good conversation. And as I said, she'll be coming live in this group in a couple of weeks. So keep it. I have put up the if you have a look in the group, you'll see that there's a live event with Mari. Okay, just make sure you come. Next one is Marilyn Mealy. Oops, I've clicked on the wrong one. So Marilyn talks about reactivity. It's always a big one, isn't it? So she is from the Dog Wisdom Workshop in America, and we talk about, she gives some really actionable steps for people with dogs with reactivity. So 6 steps to guiding a dog to feel safe when scary stuff is happening, because she understands that the dog's inner emotional state can influence how they behave. So really important. And after Marilyn, we have, Mark Bridger-Pescott. So Mark is in the UK, and he is the founder of Bone Canis. And we talk about a topic that is really important for a lot of people, and that's recall around distractions. So how do we start to get a recall? What's the beginning steps? How do we build in the distractions, and what are some fun games to play to improve recall? And we had a lot of fun. He talks about his, you'll see a video that he shares under his interview, which I will include, and it's called the Bear Recall Game. And it's a little game he does with his dogs to improve their recall, and it's really, really cute. But that's all I'll say. I'll just give you a little teaser, and you guys can wait till it comes out. And then Ness. So I'll be talking about separation anxiety. Surprise, surprise. Narelle. So Narelle Cook is in Australia. She lives in Sydney, and she is the founder of Canine Cuticles. So she is a fully qualified naturopath, nutritionist, and a herbalist for both people and for pets. And she runs a private wellness clinic, natural health and nutrition. But she's just created a nutritional supplement range called Canine Cuticles. And we do talk about inflammation unleashed, so the connection between diet and your dog's health. So that's a really, really important one. If your dog has inflammation, and the same for us, obviously, if you've got too much inflammation, it's going to impact your health and your dog's health. So she talks about understanding the role of inflammation, identifying some of the contributing factors that increase inflammation, and a simple dietary strategies that can help support your dog's health. Really important stuff. Dog trying to bump my coffee out of my hand. Then we have Pearl, and I'm just going to make sure I pronounce her name correctly. Casabon. She is a canine physio. She's in Melbourne, Australia, and with the Dog Wellness Centre. Interestingly, she started physio as a human, then she started working with thoroughbred race horses, and now she's moved into dogs. And the conversation we have is recognizing pain in dogs, and that's a really, really important conversation because dogs are so stoic. So we don't always recognize that they are in pain, and they can hide pain quite a lot. And usually, I think she says, by the time you see the pain, they've actually probably been in pain for quite some time. So they are really good at hiding it. So she helps dog guardians to recognize that pain, because obviously the longer you have pain, the worse it's going to get. So she's trying to help people overcome that. Next one is Ree Taylor from Redemption Dog Education. She is in America, and we talk about having a secure relationship with your reactive dog. So obviously that is really, really important. You know, it's all about a relationship with you and engagement with you. She does specialize in reactive dogs and aggression cases, and she has 7 dogs. I don't know. I got 3, and that's more than enough. Okay, next one. Ronnie Lejeune. She is she's a canine nutritionist. She's also a certified dog trainer, and she's also a certified canine fitness trainer. So she's got a lot of credentials. And she is the owner of Perfectly Rawsome. And we talk about how to feed raw. So this was another question that came up after the last summit when I said, what do people want to hear about? And a lot of people were saying, I want to know how to feed raw. I want to learn how to feed raw. I'm overwhelmed by it. Kind of scares me a little bit. So how do I actually take those first steps? So she talks about home-prepared diets, addressing nutritional deficiencies, and adapting fresh food into training protocols. So anyone that's into raw feeding or wants to learn needs to check that out. Okay. The next one is Sherry Nativo. She is all about training dogs. That's the name of her business. She's in America. And another one, she's actually in California, Southern California. And again, another one on reactivity. So what is reactivity? What causes it? What are some of the common mistakes people make with reactive dogs? How do you stop it? And what is the best approach to take when you have a reactive dog? So good conversation for anyone that has a reactive dog. And her freebie is really good too. So reactive dog checklist. So 10 tips to help a reactive dog. Good stuff. Okay, that's... Okay, now this is one of 2 Indians in the group, and I'm going to make sure I pronounce her name correctly. So it is Saujanya Virginia. Oh my God. Saujanya Virginia. Oh, it's really hard to pronounce. Please don't hate me. My dog's just got on my lap. But yes, so her surname is really interesting because it's actually the district from where she's from, or what the history. Oh, please don't do that, boy. Good boy. I've got honey in my tea, and he's like, oh, I want the honey. I want the honey. Oh yes, darling. I'm sorry. You need to get off though, darling. Come on. Oh. Sorry, I don't want him to get hold of that. Okay, so anyway, Saujanya is a canine behavior consultant. She's completed her degree through Barks Applied Canine Biosociopsychology and Ethology diploma in India. That's a bit of a mouthful. And she's the founder of Dog Promise. Yeah, we had a really interesting conversation. It's about, the title of her talk is Gentle Dog Parenting Approach. So what is a gentle dog? What is gentle parenting? Why is it a conversation applicable to dogs and their humans? Emphasis on building relationship and connection with dogs. And what does attachment have to do between humans and their dogs? So really, really interesting conversation. And then Stephanie Bennett. Stephanie is in America. She is Believe in Dog Training. She's in Houston. And she is, she likes to, her philosophy, I guess, is to create balance between mind, body, and spirit. So obviously she takes that holistic approach. Okay, and we talked about leash reactivity. So that's, of course, a very big problem for a lot of dog guardians. So what is leash reactivity? What causes it? What are 3 things that leash reactive dog owners must do to set their dogs up for success? What should they never do? What is the hardest thing? But what is the hardest thing for not only leash reactive dog owners, but almost all dog owners to do? And what are the 3 things that dog owners can do to help themselves? And what things should not be goals? Okay, so anyone with a leash reactive dog is going to want to watch that interview. All right, now we have our other Indian, Sarabi Venkatesh. Hang on, there's a dog licking my foot. Sarabi Venkatesh. Okay, and she is from Lucci and Mutton's Dog Behavior and Nutrition. And she is in Bangalore, I think. I could have that wrong. Yeah, no, I think she's in Bangalore. She's a certified canine behavior consultant who uses a holistic, scientifically sound and empathy-based approach with dogs. And so our conversation was about responding to reactivity holistically. So she talks about her own journey into having a reactive dog. So she's been there, done that. She understands what it's like to have a reactive dog. So she also understands the importance of taking a holistic approach, and says moving beyond R+ to understand what the needs of a dog with reactivity are, and managing caregiver expectations to change, expectations of change with dogs with reactivity. So it's going to be an important one. And her freebie gift is making your dog feel safe and secure. So most, but not all of the speakers are giving you guys that have registered a free gift. So it could be a PDF, could be, a discount code or something, but most of them have given some sort of extra additional information or value, which will be below the interview in the talk, in the summit. Okay, then we've got 2 left. Tamara Tokash. Tamara is a clinical canine consultant and trainer. She has more than 30 years experience specializing in integrative dog analysis and rearing. She does take more of a holistic approach as well. So she combines behavior, nutrition, and life skills. And her ethos and methodology forge and balance these 3 tenets so dogs and guardians thrive together. So that's nice. And our conversation is a really interesting one. So it's called Dancing with Your Dog, and it's not about dancing literally, but how small changes can actually yield big results. So you do a whole bunch of little things, and you can actually get some really big results. So she talks about sort of building foundations, why humans have such a challenging time communicating with dogs, expectations, what people want isn't necessarily what they need. Where do people typically get derailed rearing a dog? So sometimes it can be not understanding the body language, but she talks about how to interact with a dog, her methodologies and her philosophies, and the importance of focusing on time, permission, and happiness. So you actually will get her freebie gift as a checklist of things to do to help your dog cope. And last but not least is Tasha Atwood. Tasha is in the UK from Miyagi Dog Training and Behaviorist Services. She is a trainer and behaviorist in the UK. I just said that. She is an approved instructor for the Dog Training College, a Pet Professional Guild ambassador, instructor, and assessor, as well as a Pet Professional Guild member. So she works holistically as well with dogs and their guardians internationally, and has a passion for helping both guardians and dogs with their emotional states, healing trauma, and understanding their dog. And we talked about why you can't fix behavior without having foundations and communication. So that's really important. So she talks about the importance of foundations, the importance of having a secure attachment, and how to communicate effectively with your dog. That's all the speakers. There's 26 all up. I think I've got them all. I don't think I've missed anyone. The summit goes live for me in Australia on July the 3rd, If you're in the UK or the US, that could actually be, or Europe, it could actually be July the 2nd. But if you've registered, you'll get all those links sent out to you. You do have to register for the summit to get the information, to get the links. There's also a new sponsor on board, so Cords for Canines. If you register, you will get a discount code to get a collar, a free collar, not a free collar, 20% off a collar. What else? I guess what I want to say is when I do these summits, I really love doing them because selfishly or personally, I get to meet all these amazing people from all over the world, which is really, really incredible. But I think more importantly is I find it so rewarding to be able to give their information, to be able to showcase them to a global audience around the world. And, if you've got a problem that you're struggling with your dog, then I'm hoping at least one or two of the speakers on the summit will be able to help you. So it's really nice for me to be able to be a vehicle, if you like, to give information to people. I think that's really, really important. Anybody got any questions while we're on here? I've been chatting for 30 minutes. I'm going to have a quick slug of my tea, but if you've got a question, please ask it. Or even if you're watching the replay, you can ask it and I'll answer. But keep an eye out. July, the week starting July 3, there will be hopefully some lives in the group and this group so that you can meet some of the speakers and ask any questions that you have and ask them in real time too, which is good, always good. Okay, well, unless there's any questions, no questions. Cool. All right, well, I shall get off here then. Thank you for joining me, those that did, and thank you for watching if you watch the replay.